Whenever I harm another person, the same harm comes to me. I used to dismiss the synchronicities as coincidences. In primary school, I remember insulting a boy. The next day, another boy insulted me. Whilst playing football, I accidentally kicked a friend in the shins. That evening, whilst I was riding my bike, the pedals slammed into my shins. I punched the bully, causing his left eye to swell and bruise. The next day, on the playground, a basketball pummeled my face, causing my left eye to swell and bruise. But this transcends physical harm. One morning I pinched a few pounds from my sister's piggy bank. Then, when I arrived at school, an older child stole that money from me. Coincidences. I've always thought so. In fact, when I became a teenager, I conducted extensive research on the subject. It was confirmation bias, I decided. I was ignoring all of the events that didn't fit the pattern. That must be it. The thing is that I'm a good person. I don't often say mean things about people. So, I don't necessarily have an abundance of evidence to support my hypothesis. Still, I have, on occasion, caused harm to people in my life. Much like every other person on the planet. And I'm absolutely certain that some force in the universe, perhaps a judgmental higher power, always ensures that the exact same harm is caused to me. I don't make a habit of physically harming people, so many of my examples are forms of emotional conflict. During my teenage years, I certainly did many stupid things, and I was dealt karma's heavy blow in return. I ditched a friend at a party, and then my other friend ditched me. I left my girlfriend for someone prettier, and my new girlfriend left me for someone more handsome. Karma. I'm now in my late 20s. I always hoped I'd eventually grow out of this superstitious fear, but the coincidences just keep happening. I was a manager for a major legal firm, and it's a cutthroat industry. I made an employee redundant because we had to find ways to reduce expenditures. I wasn't too surprised when I faced the same fate. 3 weeks later, my superior shut down our entire branch, making me redundant. Do you need more evidence? Well, I cooked a meal for my friends. I'm vegetarian, but I didn't want to force that on my meat-eating pals, so I prepared a chicken tikka masala. Foolishly, I didn't cook the chicken for long enough, and they ended up with food poisoning. Given that I'd eaten a separate vegetarian meal, I was fine. 3 days later, however, a sudden, inexplicable sickness overcame me. Lying on the bathroom floor in a fetal position, I thought I might die. I had never been so ill. You need more examples, don't you? Several months ago, my girlfriend tripped over one of the shoes I left in the hallway, and she received several deep gashes on her forehead after connecting with the sharp edge of a glass table. Later that evening, I was brushing my teeth, and the bathroom bulb spontaneously blew. The glass shattered above my head, shards showered, and I received several painful wounds that accurately mirrored the ones my girlfriend had acquired. I remember shivering silently in the corner of the bathroom. I wasn't a child. I was a fully grown man. Shivering. I couldn't dismiss it as coincidence anymore. There was a sinister force at play. Something was judging my every move. It was punishing me for causing harm, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Are you convinced? Maybe you would believe me if you'd spent the last 29 years in my shoes. These events are not coincidental. There are too many to count. And that thought has always filled me with existential dread. I lie awake at night, staring into the darkness of my bedroom, and fully believing that something stares back at me. It is not some benevolent deity. It is something cruel and unholy. There has always been a malevolent aspect to the retribution that the universe has dealt. I have thought that since the very beginning. The first time I ever noticed it, when I insulted my classmate. I remember the sensation of Karma's cold touch. I remembered the boy who insulted me in the same way. There was something emotionless and evil about the vitriol that spewed from his mouth. It was almost as if he were a puppet for something far greater and far more terrible than either of us. I have always tried to reassure myself that I only need to treat others well. I just have to avoid harming people. That's how I lead a relatively normal life. As I said, I'm a good person. I try not to cause harm. Most of the harm I have inflicted has been minor and accidental. Last night, however, something happened. Something happened that might end everything. I was at the local pub with my girlfriend and a few close friends. We were having a merry time. Everyone in the pub was having a merry time. One man, in particular, was a little too merry. "Hello, gorgeous," the stranger said to my girlfriend, Lauren. "Want a drink?" I'm not the overprotective type. I turned my head to face Lauren, and she gave me a look that said she would handle it. "I'm not interested," Lauren firmly replied. The man spat at her. "Pfft. Well, I'm not interested in you. Skank." "Hey," I shouted. "Apologise for that." The man laughed and asked, "Hey, you want to fight, wimp?" "No," I replied, looking at the bartender. "I think you should leave." Things escalated rapidly. The man shoved me away from him. Then he raised his fists. One of my friends stepped between us, and the aggressive stranger immediately landed a right hook, knocking him to the floor. I saw red. Before Lauren, the bartender, or any of my friends had a chance to stop me, I charged at the violent man and swung for his face. One punch. That was all it took. He fell backwards. What I did not intend was for the man's head to connect with the sharp edge of the step behind him. Paramedics arrived quickly, but they weren't quick enough. The blow had killed the man. One punch. One punch has ended everything. I've spent all day in bed. I'm racked with guilt. My friends have tried to console me. They think I'm worried about a prison sentence. But I have plenty of legal connections. I could easily get out of this mess. Still, I won't beat karma, will I? I don't know how long I have. As I lie in bed, staring at the black ceiling above me, I find myself searching for something in the darkness. I'm looking for the thing that will exact its horrible punishment. Every creak in the house fills me with unimaginable fright. Every time I hear a wisp of wind outside my window, I believe that the glass might break, inviting some terrifying entity into my room. It is currently 4:49 a.m. I'm quaking under my duvet. I've been hearing aggressive knocks on my front door. Whatever stands on my porch, it has persisted for the past 10 minutes. I'm too frightened to move. With every deafening thump on my front door, I retreat a little farther beneath my duvet. I can see what might happen. An intruder barges into my house, deals a fatal blow to my skull, and I meet my end. I could ring the police, but I know that won't save me. The universe always finds a way to exact justice.